There's 12 at least. Okay, the moon comes up, moon comes down. There's another 12. There's 24. Right? So we have night and day. This is how we measure the sun, 24 hours.
Right.
Okay, or we measure time within a 24-hour span.
Yeah.
Okay. If we don't necessarily know internally what 24 hours is, and that's our only measurement, then that means if that sun is going around faster, then that means our 24 hours is going around faster. If the 24 hours is going around faster, then not only is your day going by faster, thus why we keep saying there's not enough time in a day, and why society is moving faster than it ever has before. Again, we can talk about that a different time.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is your day moving faster, but then that means that guess what? Your week is moving faster, which means your month is moving faster.
Yeah.
Which means your seasons are moving faster. Which means your year is moving faster. So now we see, if we go by that philosophy, okay, which again, it could be wrong. It could be a completely wrong philosophy, and I could be completely overlooking some things, right? But if we go by that, now you see how life expectancy can continue to increase. Because where our parents or our grandparents were at a certain age, we have now eclipsed them.
Yeah.
Meaning when they were 20, their 20 is our 25. Because it's moving faster. See what I mean? It's moving faster. So if their 20 is going to put them, again, if you take that ratio, okay, we'll just use 20 and 25. If we use that ratio, that is going to be broken down to what? 4 and 5. Okay, 4/5. There's the ratio. 4 and 5, 4 and 5. Well, if you continue to take that on its lineage at a 4 to 5 ratio, you see how, again, your parents can be 60 years old, or your grandparents can be 60 years old, and they start to wither away, where we won't see that until we're 75.
Facts.
Right? Because time is moving faster. We're trying to catch up with it. Like, that's the whole thing with this. We're trying to see, and this is why a lot of what we're doing now, like just as a generation, as millennials, right? A lot of what we're doing now, it doesn't fit. Because we don't have the same constructs as what our parents and our grandparents did. Things are exponentially moving faster. Right? They told our parents, go to college. Well, our parents could have got away with a fucking associate's degree and been good. Straight. Okay? Us as millennials, we were like, well, you got to go to college. All right, cool. So we go get a bachelor's degree. Hey, no. You better stay in college. So now you got to go get a master's degree. Then we get out of college, and guess what? Now they're telling the kids, you better go be a doctor. And a doctor meaning you better go get your PhD. You better go get a residency.
You still got to go.
And you still got to go.
And by the time you get done with all that, what age you at?
On top of that, look at the money.
Yeah.
How much debt did you accumulate? And then how much debt is it going to, or how much time is it going to take you to pay off the debt?
Thank you.
Money hasn't even caught up with time. And this is why we're in the situation that we are now economically. Right? Like, think about it, bro. Money hasn't caught up with time. Even if minimum wage was $20 an hour,
It's
still not enough. And it's because it has not caught up with time. Time has told us that we need to be making 100. Here's the crazy part. As soon as we start making 100, time will exponentially have moved. So now we need to make 200.
If we making 100 times, going crazy.
Okay, I'll break it down to you even further. Okay, I'm gonna prove I'm not insane. If money hasn't caught up to time, money will never catch up to time.
No.
Because money can't catch up with energy. And energy, okay, we can call it light, we can call it whatever you want. A measurement of light is the speed of light.
Right.
Okay, measure your thought. How fast does a thought go into the head and then get relayed out? Measure it.
It's,
Is that light?
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
that's light. You see a beam going through your head right now?
No. Yeah.
You hear sound. Sound is what you're hearing. That's the aftermath of actually getting the knowledge. It's sound. You can hear that, but even that takes a little bit of time.
Facts.
So if it's taking time for us to receive, okay, and then it's taking time for us to articulate, and then it's taking time for us actually to project into the real world, manifest out into the real world to make our reality what it is with the physical resources, okay, on top of the knowledge of having to do something. If it takes time and we don't have the time, how does it work? It doesn't. It can't keep up.
Don't.
Okay. So this goes back. Speed of light. Yeah, sure. Speed of light. That gives you light. But ain't nobody talking about the ether. Nobody's talking about what's happening truly with consciousness. That's how you keep up with time. Time is time. You understand, time and space are one in the same woven fabric. Okay? Mm-hmm. Space allows time to exist, but time allows space to move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these are elementations that are kind of outside of our physical. They allow, space and time allow us to have the shadow work, the light, okay, of the three-dimensional realm. But if time doesn't exist and there's enough space to where it's infinite, what's our measurement now? What are we doing? We can't be confined by anything. That means the speed of light is not the fastest thing that's moving because the speed of light can be measured. Measure somebody's knowledge without IQ or EQ. We've seen that IQ is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's complete bullshit. I don't give a fuck what your score was at Harvard or Stanford or any of these other Ivy League schools. I don't care what your score was. You got to change a tire?
Thank you.
Right? Do you know how to operate on the streets? And I'm not talking about in the hood. Like I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Do you understand how to move? Do you know about your own bio-engineered body?
Thank you.
Do you know what's supposed to go in it? Do you know what controls your thoughts? Do you know how to control your thoughts? Do you know how to communicate? Do you know how to receive? Do you know how to project? Do you know what's being reflected? So I don't give a fuck about IQ. Do you know you?
A lot of people can't answer that.
A lot of people can't. They can't even. They have no idea.
They'll
give you a definition of themselves. Oh, I'm a carpenter. Cool beans, buddy. No offense to carpenters. No offense. If you good with your hands and you good and you good, hey bro, you good. Because that's I'll be good. I ain't all the way there with the carpentry.
No, facts, but
you feel me? I'm just saying, like, you're more than that.
No, right.
We'll bring it back home to what we can talk about. We were both football players, gladiators, as I would like to call them.
Facts.
Right? What do we look like to I'm a football player.
Just
how much more are you than a football player?
And that's the lowest of the low.
Come on now.
Come
on now. Right? But because we've defined ourselves by these things, one, we're cutting our time short. 2, we've limited our space. Right? And 3, we're not even potentially, we're not even being who we could be.
Yeah.
But it's all because we believe that we are encompassed in time and space. We believe that we're born and we die and that's it. People don't even realize that they have set themselves up in past lives. Or I don't even like to say past lives. In other vibrational dimensions, in other frequencies, they have set themselves up to be where they're at. Haven't even realized it. And haven't realized it at all.
That's the crazy part.
Have no idea. But again, we're talking about the 98 to 99% of the population.
Majority.
More than the majority. I mean, shit, that's damn near everyone.
That's everybody. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, literally, that's damn near everyone. So what happens when this physical realm collapses? What happens when time and space go with it? Because time and space get swallowed up of what we know as black holes, which is a complete, well, again, that's a completely different topic. I got to ease into this shit. I got to ease into it because I'm going to fuck some people's mind up.
That's a whole, that's...
I'll fuck some people's mind up. Damn, I almost can't even hold back. I gotta hold back. I just gotta keep it general right now. I gotta keep it general. I'm gonna fuck some people up. Right? But like black holes swallowed up time and space. So what happens when everything collapses?
Ain't nobody gonna know how to live.
How to live? That'd be the last thing on their mind. How to live? They not gonna be living. They not gonna know what the fuck going on. Shit.
Yeah.
When the lights out. What happens?
All right. What you gonna do?
Like some people answer that question. Well, I'm just gonna be dead. Well, sorry about your luck, buddy. Energy don't get destroyed, nor does it get created. Everything under the sun is underneath the sun. So you gotta go somewhere.
Come on now.
Only the body is going back to the earth.
You going somewhere.
You going somewhere.
You going somewhere.
You go in somewhere. That's what I'm saying. You go in somewhere.
Going somewhere.
And if you don't know how to navigate, something will. Something will navigate for you. Believe that. Like, energy does not get created, nor does it get destroyed. So you can't just expect that when you, right, that's it. Nah, G, you ain't getting off that easy. It don't work like that.
Facts. And then we not even gonna get into beliefs of, oh, God got me, so I'm just going here no matter how I live.
Yeah, go ahead. We can dive in. Go ahead. Sure. God's got you. God has got you. That's your relationship with God. And ain't nobody gonna take that away from you.
Yeah, okay, facts.
Okay? Whatever their relationship is with whatever their higher up or whatever gets them through their day is on them. Okay, that is the subjective beauty of all of this.
Yeah, facts.
Is that everybody is entitled to all their opinions.
Yeah, right.
All their beliefs, however they want to put it. Right, wrong, or indifferent, they're all entitled to it.
Right.
Okay? Where I guess it's not even an issue, but where I challenge is that it?
Thank you.
Have you really figured it all out?
So what's next?
Right? If your God is who your God says is, and you can go out here and do whatever you please, but at the end of your days, you're going to be saved and you're going to end up in the place that you always wanted to end up. Is that it? Because if that's the case, why are we living? If you know where you're going to go, why are we living?
What's the point? We might as well just go.
There you go. What's the point? Might
we just go.
Right? There's one thing that we know that happens in a life. Okay? There's one thing that we know. What happens in life that is going to happen to everybody?
Yeah, you die.
You're going to die. Okay. Now, I don't believe in death in terms of what they define death as.
Right.
Okay. We have a window, a span at which we are experiencing this vibration, this life.
Mm-hmm.
But again, energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. So how could we ever die? How could we ever die? Right? So how I move, death is the result.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Life is the process. Mm-hmm. But they have to go together. You can't get to death unless you've lived.
Right.
Which means you can't move on unless you've lived. If you don't live, guess where you going? You going right back to where you were until you start living.
Mm-hmm.
So you can believe in reincarnation or not believe in reincarnation, but best believe that if you don't know how to live, you will not die. Because it's part of the process.
It's part of.
As if anything, you can't become good at something if you don't practice it. So now when we look at life, life is nothing more than a bunch of births and a bunch of deaths and a bunch of births and a bunch of deaths and a bunch of births and a bunch of deaths. Do we not watch life come in? Right? We got people that are younger than us.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We got people that we have watched from little babies on up.
Facts.
Right? They don't know. Their life has never been without Quez.
Facts.
And we've seen death. Right? So we've seen people come and go.
Mm-hmm.
So we have seen this process happen over and over and over again. You was out of college, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Are you there now?
Mm-mm.
Birth and death. I'll give you one. Let's circle it back to time. The sun comes up, birth of a new day. Sun goes down, death of the day. Right? When you close your eyes, sleep is the cousin of death.
Mm-hmm.
Closest thing that you can get. I'll say this, and this may blow some people's mind, but that's okay. I'm going to dive that deep. How do you know you ain't dead? Because you wake up? Is that your definition of it? Because who's conscious while they're asleep? And I'm not talking dreaming. I'm not talking lucid dreaming. I'm not talking astral traveling.
Mm-mm. Nobody is.
Are you even conscious about when you go to sleep? You ever try to catch yourself like, ooh, I'm gonna feel myself go to sleep?
Don't.
And you be fighting sleep to do it. You be like, oh yeah, I'm about to go to sleep. Oh, I can feel it. And then the next thing you know, bro, you waking up.
Literally. Damn, when I go to sleep, the fuck?
See what I mean?
Time I go to sleep.
How do you know that you didn't die?
Don't.
You don't. You have no idea. You have no idea that you didn't die and then reincarnated right back to that same spot. You don't know that you were still alive.
Right.
You weren't conscious. You weren't aware of it. So when we think about time, like that's the biggest indicator right there. Like when you go to sleep, time don't exist unless you're aware of it. Unless you're paying attention to it.
You ain't thinking about it.
You're not thinking about it. You're not thinking about, did I get 8 hours of sleep? You're basing that off of a tool that you went to sleep knowing what time it was and what happened in between. Did you see it tick?
Nope.
So what are we, what are we measuring? Time is just a construct. And then space. Space is so damn vast. We can't even take space shuttles at our own recreation up into outer space, or what they call outer space. Why? Why? We went to the moon in the 60s, right?
That's what they say, yeah.
That's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck out of here. Anyways. Another topic for another day. Another day. Right? But I can't go to outer space. I can go to anywhere I want in the world.
You can't tell me.
24,000 miles, I can go around. I can just keep going around.
Thank you.
Keep going around and keep going around. I go up, down, that, all of that. But I can't go to outer space. But space is that fucking big.
But you can.
But yet I can move through space and get to anywhere I want in the world. I can take an airplane 30,000 feet in the air. And if you encompass the volume of my travel, I've covered a lot of space. And I've entered a lot of space.
Mm-hmm.
Only if you're paying attention to it. Because ain't nobody measuring the volume of space that they take up on a daily basis.
Mm-mm.
Right? I bet you people can't even calculate the volume that is inside of them.
I'm a victim.
Me too. I don't know. I don't know. Right? I don't know. All I know is that I have an inner space, okay, which is me. And I'm not talking about inside.
Yeah, right.
I'm talking about my subjective version of all of this.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
right.
I have inner space. Okay, in an inner time, my subjective construct of time, of what I think time is and how I move with time and the relationship that I have with time, okay, and the relationship that I have with space.
Facts.
And then there's outer space.
Yep.
Which is how I'm able to move about. Because if there wasn't outer space, right, outer meaning not with inner space, not within here, outer space. If there wasn't outer space, I wouldn't be able to move.
Facts.
Right? So space is relative. All this shit's relative. Now, I know sometimes be like, oh, well, this nigga just proved Einstein's theory of relativity correct. No, that nigga, no. That's another topic too. Let's take note of this episode because there's a bunch of topics that we got up in here.
And that's, matter of fact, I might write that down because that's one I need to know about.
Nah, that nigga Einstein. Einstein on his deathbed told you that he was wrong.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Ain't it though? On his deathbed, he told you. Why you think he stopped doing the shit? Like, he told you on his deathbed, I don't think that's it. It was close, but I don't think it was it.
Crazy. But they don't put that out.
They ain't going to put that out there because they want you to believe that E equals MC squared. Well, in the words of Eddie Griffin, and if I ever get a chance to meet Eddie Griffin, oh, wow. But in his stand-up, he said, how does E equals MC squared, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the mass of something is supposed to dictate how much energy it has, but he can dominate somebody that is 3 times his size. And that's the truth. You played football.
Mm-hmm.
You ever put somebody on their ass that was bigger than you?
Mm-hmm.
How? E equals MC squared, though, right? Einstein said this shit, it wasn't supposed to happen. Me too. And anybody who's ever lifted with me, like really gotten after, they know.
Yeah.
They know. Pound for pound, they know.
Moving it.
Okay?
Facts.
Because I was working out with something that, again, a lot of people, they weren't understanding. Like when I connect this with this,
it's different.
My heart is different. I pull a different energy out.
It's different.
It's completely different. Right? And I understood that early.
Right.
I had to put it. So what I was telling you about me fighting all the time. Like I had little man syndrome, bro. Everybody was bigger than me. Right? Even my dad gave me a complex. Oh, you too small. You're too small. Like, I ain't letting you play football. You're too small. Like, that weighs on you. Look, what the fuck you mean I'm too small?
Now you got a chip.
I'll fuck somebody up. You feel me? It's
Nah.
little man syndrome for real. So then, like that becomes part of like who you are and just how you move.
Yeah.
So I had to dig deep. It was finding different avenues like, oh, if I move like this, or I'm able to outlast this person, or I'm able to do this, or I place my hand here, or it's like, oh, I want this more than he do.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different type of connection. That's a different type of connection.
Still now, a lot of people ain't got it.
No, hell, they don't even know.
It's different. No.
Let's just be real. They're true gladiators, right? I see ball, go hit ball. That's what I do. I see, but that's it. That's all that they got. Because they only using this.
Yeah.
And this is only going to be in control of what you do with the body. Right? And a lot of people looking at me, but like, yeah, ain't that what it's supposed to do? It's the mind and the... No, bro, like your heart magnifies everything that you do.
Yeah, everything.
Everything.
Everything. That's how you walk. Come on.
Right? Your heart it literally is a magnet. Your heart has the magnetic effect.
Yeah.
Why do you think emotions are so strong with the heart?
Thank you.
Why do you think they call it heartbreak?
Thank you.
Right? Why do you think you don't really find true love until you actually get to your heart chakra?
And two, why when something you get your heart broken, you don't do certain things.
Shut down for 48 hours. Don't know what to do with yourself.
You don't want to eat. You don't want to do nothing.
Don't want to eat. Don't want to do nothing. And we done all been there.
All been there. They don't think about it though. They don't think about
it. Just be laying in the bed, man. Damn.
Fuck, bro. Damn.
Shit, man. Fuck.
Hey, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to
do nothing. Man, what He broke my heart. Then you gotta wake up and realize who the fuck you are.
Right.
Then you realize that, hey, your heart start talking to you back. Be like, hey, bro, you better love yourself.
Oh, yeah. Get up.
You better love yourself first. Know what you thought this was.
Crazy.
She ain't have your heart. You gave it to her. Take the shit back.
Get it back. Yeah.
100%. Right? But like that's what people is missing. They don't know that their heart's involved with that. So now again, when you out here on a day-to-day basis, like, bro, I don't, it's hard for me not to walk around with passion about what I do. And I don't care what it is. I could be a janitor. You gonna have the most spotless place if I'm cleaning for you.
No, facts. Facts.
Because my heart in it. I don't know it, bro. I've gotten so accustomed. I don't know how to walk without my heart.
Literally, bro. Literally.
So
it's installed. It's just like that's part of me.
100%.
I move.
100%. So now,
yeah.
I'll again. Let's keep circling this back to time, and let's keep circling this back to space. The heart is about the only muscle, if I'm not mistaken, is the only muscle in the body that does not stop. When does the heart relax?
Doesn't.
Right? It don't. Heart don't relax. So if the heart don't relax, that means it don't have a time. There's not a certain time in which it can be used up.
Right.
Right. Okay. We can say, well, the heart's going to stop one day. Okay, sure. What stops it?
Death.
Okay. Well, what stopping the heart though, the result is death. So death can't stop the heart.
Yep.
The result is death.
Yeah.
What stops the heart?
You told me this before.
Because the brain don't even have control over the heart. Heart has its own nodes. Heart has its own beat. Heart has its own electrical system.
I was just gonna say that. I swear.
You could be brain dead. Think about it. You could be brain dead and still be alive.
Yeah, your heart still, yeah,
Your
facts.
heart's still going.
Facts. It is facts.
What stops the heart? When the soul leaves the body. When the soul leaves the body, the heart stops. Because the soul is the energy that the heart lives off of. It's not the brain. The brain controls everything else, right? All your senses, your motors, everything. But again, you could be brain dead and still have a healthy heart and still be alive. When the soul leaves the body, it's housed in the heart. So, when somebody goes to pass away, right, what leaves their body literally will stop the heart. As soon as the heart stops, life is over. It's not this. It's the heart. Right? Like, and we see this with emotions. You know, like when you find a person, you know, let's just say it's your significant other or somebody you'll crush, somebody talking to or whatever, right? And she into you just as much as you, like, that makes you feel some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The heart takes over. Like, you be happier than a motherfucker.
Come on now. Geeked up.
Geeked. Nigga, you feel like you take on the world.
What? Walking outside, smiling.
Man, what?
Up, chin up.
Hey, man, what? Feeling good.
Can't tell me nothing, nigga.
Nothing. And you motivated like a motherfucker to do everything.
Getting up, working out.
Everything. Everything. Because your heart, even that feel, bro, even the feeling that you have, where is it at? Where is it? That butterfly starts your heart. It's in your heart. It's because you're recharging or you're stimulating the soul. So now let's not even take it to where it's a human on human connection. Let's just take it with something, you know, the greater good of your life. Right. When something good is happening, where do you feel that at? You feel that in your heart.
That's the only spot too. That's crazy.
The brain is just a bunch of chemicals.
Yeah.
Right? Dopamine and all of the type of endorphins and all the type of shit.
It's not a feeling up there.
Well, your brain is nothing more than a database. It's a computer.
Facts.
You hold I can't even say that. Like, your brain is more the receiver that can take you to the information because you hold information within the body. Okay. Right? Like, the brain don't tell you what's happening when you push on your finger. You push on your finger and then your finger tells the brain what's happening. Okay. So your brain is organizing information. That's what the brain is there to do. That's it. I promise you that's it. You got so much other shit going on in your body that, like, your brain is so, your brain is like the president, okay? Everybody think the president got to say so. That nigga ain't got to say so. That nigga is being over there manipulated like a fucking puppet. He's just up and down and, feel me, like he ain't doing nothing. The only thing that the brain can do is press the little red button. That's it. That's it. Right? There's so many other things that got control of you, you don't even know. And like I said, the heart is how you feel the environment. The heart is how you can walk by a motherfucker and be like, yeah, I ain't gonna fuck with you. right? Or how you could walk by somebody and be like, they good people. That's what the heart does. The heart will allow you to feel and do things that you never thought that you could do.
No, that's facts. No, yeah.
Right? So, circling back when we talk about time, right? Like, life is over when the heart done. Life is over when the soul leaves the body. At least that life. So now you see how you can access other lives that you've been a part of because it's embedded in your heart. It's already been embedded in your essence. And ain't it kind of funny that your heart is the one that pumps the number one thing that essentially keeps everything lubricated and intact and nutrient and all other types of shit?
Crazy.
It pumps the oil in the body. It pumps the blood. Right? So if you want to be vibrant, get your heart together. Because your heart is going to make up your aura. Right? Because it's literally circulating. The blood is circulating everywhere. So we think it's just a red liquid that's being pumped throughout our bodies. You don't think the red liquid is holding some type of energy? Okay, well, what about blood clots? Well, what's a heart attack? What's a stroke? That's nothing more than constipation. And when something is constipated, that means it's stagnant. It's not moving. It's stuck. It's not lubricated. It's not moving anymore. Well, what do we know about everything in the universe? It's always in motion. There's nothing ever at rest. Thus why your heart does not rest.
I just learned something.
So if your heart's not at rest, the universe is not at rest, that means that you're connected.
Right.
You're always connected.
Right.
But are you allowing yourself to be connected? Because as soon as you're not connected, this is what we call flatline. There's no more motion. So now what does the soul have to do? Soul has to jump ship. But the soul is only going to go to where it's comfortable going.
That's what. Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. If you don't ascend in your lifetime, the soul is only going to go back to where it was comfortable at.
It'll be there again.
It'll be there again. We do the same thing. We fall into defaults.
It'll be there again.
Right? We fall into defaults.
So for the people that's, I'm gonna say people, but for the ones that's living, do you, because they already been there before?
Well, so how I judge that, good question. How I judge that is off of how they handle trauma.
I like that. Okay. I like that.
Right? A person who hasn't been somewhere or in a situation, it's more traumatic than what it is if somebody has already done it. Okay? Athletes will get they'll get this analogy 100%, right? If you're any athlete and you've ever sprained your ankle, the first time that it happens, it's excruciating. You think that your life is over, your athletic career is over. Like, well, that first ankle sprain is crazy, right? Second time it happens, you like, bro, tape me up and let me get back out there. Third time it happens, yeah, whatever. Fourth time, okay, I guess I'm in a little bit of pain. To the point now, you sprain your ankle, you stop limping. You're like, okay, this hurt. Let me take one play off and let me get back in.
Thanks.
Trauma. How do you handle trauma? Right? Somebody who done seen death over and over and over again tends to act a little differently than somebody who's seen it for the first time. Right? So it's how people, or at least again, I don't know that I can physically prove this, right? Philosophically, people who can handle trauma, right, or they have an understanding of it, or they know how to grieve, or they know how to heal from trauma have done this before. Right? Just like anything. They've done it before. People who can handle death, they've seen death.
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna get into my aspect of it. All right.
Oh, I loved it. Oh yeah, go ahead.
So now I'm about to talk about a life experience or whatever, but I had a uncle that passed, right?
Yep.
Um, but I was the type that I didn't want to go to the funeral, but I had my own way of dealing with it. It wasn't like I was sad about it. It was just like I had an understanding of life in the sense of like I knew that he wasn't like people think he's gone, but it's like he's somewhere.
100%.
He's somewhere. So it's like I'm not gonna say he good, but it's like he's somewhere. I don't know
100%.
somewhere, but it's not. I didn't want to go to the funeral because like that energy and all that. I didn't want to be around that, but it was just like I know he's somewhere. So you saying that, I kind of gave me a thinking like maybe I had been here before or something like that. Or
Yeah, like you can how do I put this? I don't want to when I speak on this, I have to be careful.
I think I know you're going to.
Well, with people too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be, especially when it comes to death.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not a big funeral person either. I don't like funerals.
Yeah, facts.
Okay. I understand the result.
Right.
Everybody's moving towards the result. So I understand that it's going to happen. It's inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen.
Right.
Okay. So with that, when you know something is going to happen, you can almost prepare. If you've seen it before, if you've dealt with it before, you can prepare. Right? When you get an ankle sprain, you know that it takes you 1 or 2 plays off and then you can go back in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The preparation to that. Now, when you understand it on a level that I believe that you understand it at, where he's somewhere, it may not be in the physical flesh that he was just in, but he's somewhere.
Right.
Right? It can give you a peace of mind. Now, here's where it becomes tricky. And I can't even say that I'm ready for this. Okay? We only grieve, and this is with anything, not just people, not just death. We only grieve over what we are most attached to.
Mm.
Okay? So we're only, if something that we are really attached to is taken from us, I mean, think about if your finger is attached to you, what you would feel if it was literally just pulled from your hand. I know that was kind of like, that's graphic, but think about the pain and trauma of that. But now it's on a deeper level. It's not physical.
Yeah.
You know, you've built spiritual bonds with people. You have spiritual ties with people.
Mm-hmm.
You have emotional connections with people. Right? You've invested time and space into certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's hard for us not to be attached to certain physical elementations. It's hard. It's extremely hard. Right? Because one, we have to label it as like an identity to us in a sense. Right? Because they're nothing more than a reflection of us.
Right.
I'll give you one that's hard, right? Like football. That's hard. It was hard to let go. Why? Because it was a part, I was attached to it. Right? Well, when I disattach myself, I care less. Whatever. Whole game go to shit.
Facts.
Football never came back on the TV. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I'll live my fucking life peacefully. I'll die a happy man.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But at a point in time, bro, shit was hard. Because I did it. I dedicated. I invested in it every single day, day in and day out. Right?
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Are you going? You good?
So when people are the same way, like you have a certain type of appreciation and respect for your parents.
Facts.
Right? Like if it's a close relative, you have a certain appreciation and love and attachment to them.
Yeah.
That's why the farther that you go out, the easier it is to deal with the death. The closer to home it becomes, the harder it is. So now, how do you become okay with it? Right? This is the hardest part. Disattach from you. Disattach from your character. Because if you disattach from your character, you no longer have attachments to anything that was attached to your character.
Mm.
And to me, that is a process of life. You gain all these identities, right, to this character. You have a name, you have an ethnicity, right? You have what we call a race, which again, I don't believe is even real, right? You have customs, you have a culture, you have a state, maybe a city, a way of living, however, friends, however you want to identify yourself. You can go down as far as you want to go down. By the time that you pass away, convert back to just energy. Knowing that you can't take none of that with you.
Yeah.
And that it'll be completely different the next time around.
Facts.
So if you disattach from you disattach from the physical world. From the earthly experience. Well, now we talk about how we're moving up the chain, right? So when you move through your systems and you move through your dimensions, now you see why you can't take the physical body past the 5th dimension. And again, I'll clarify that in another episode, but you can't take it past the 5th dimension. Because to get to the 6th dimension, you have to disattach.
Got to.
You have to. There's no other way. So for those people who are trying to get to heaven, disattach. If you become less dense, okay, less earthly, what typically happens? You go up. You ascend. We see this within atoms. Look at the periodic table. Right? A helium balloon is going to do what? Float. It's not dense. It's not dense enough to come down.
Thanks.
It's not attached to nothing. So when you start taking your earthly attachments away, okay, you allow other energy to bring you up. You start moving through the chains of dimension.
I just learned something I didn't know I was doing.
Right. Well, and then on top of that, the only way that we can truly do that is we got to be self-aware about it. You just said it. I just learned something that I was doing. That's the point. That's the whole point. This has always been consciousness looking at consciousness. It's always been you looking at you. It's always been that.
That's facts. That's crazy. What?
It's always been that. It's never been you looking at Jules. It's never been you looking at your parents. It's always been you looking at you. Always. Are you aware of it though? Like, do you see the separation? Do you see the attachment? Do you see you in everything and everywhere that you are? Because when you can truly become self-aware, now you can start manipulating what? The reality that's in front of you.
Yeah.
That's why they say go do the inner work. Because when you do the inner work, the rest of this just takes care of itself. Because you'll be like, yeah, I don't want that. I'm out. I'm good. We get away.
Man.
And you can feel it. That's the crazy part. Like, you can feel when something is not you. You can feel it. Right? This is how I knew I could walk away from football. When the business came out with football, and like I said, I'm watching dudes make yearly sacrifices. I ain't gonna put the dollar amount out there. And I'm watching another dude put on 40 pounds to play a certain position. And I'm watching another dude literally can't move and can't walk, go and play in a game. Right? And I'm watching another dude get cut because he's a half inch too short. Had nothing to do with his skill. When I'm watching another dude play and he ain't half as good as half the roster, I understood these are not the people and not the environment that I want to be around. This is not it.
Ain't it?
This is not it.
You can't just do what you love or something you love. It's something more than no.
Right? It's not it. And I left it all. And when you leave it all and you start become self-aware, you realize it was nothing more than baggage.
Yeah.
Right? I felt like fucking Santa Claus carrying a whole thing up this mountain. And it was nothing but football related, right? It's like, oh, go work out, be able to squat 500 pounds and hang clean 315 and, bench press 225 20 times, run a 4-3, impress this coach. You know what I mean? Stretch your hands to make them bigger. All of that, bro. I'm just putting it in the bag and I'm carrying it up this mountain.
Literally.
Knowing that there's no end to this. Right? So what do? Man, fuck that. You get tired of carrying it. I'm good.
Facts.
I'm good. But I'm looking to the people, bro. To this day, I still watch some of my peers go after trying to be in the NFL.
That's crazy.
I'm 6 years now removed from college? 7 years now removed from college? My peers ain't never played a down in professional football. Still trying to get to the NFL.
Why the NFL, though?
What? See what I mean? See, but this is what I'm talking about. They put themselves in space and time. They put themselves in this limitation of a box. I don't have to be a football player to be successful with my life.
You have to be a football player to be somebody.
At all. Right? And like this is the issue. So, and again, we can, there's a whole nother thing too, but like this is the issue with a lot of the inner city. A lot of them are drug dealers. They only know to be a drug dealer. They only know to be an artist. And they only know to be a professional ball player. And all three of them are used. Because they damn sure don't import the drugs. They're not making deals with the cartel. They're not making deals with all the lords in Cuba. The government's doing that. I said too much. Next topic. I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Right? They're not the ones doing that. Okay, be an artist, be a rapper, sing. Well, what do? They put you on a stage. They send you to Hollywood. And then now we got cases like Diddy.
Come on.
Again, I've said too much. Then a professional ball player. Well, what was the main thing that they was doing to melanated individuals back in the day? Making them physically work. So what are we just naturally good at doing? Physically being specimen. People who know how to work the physical nature.
Saying they say, maybe I'm saying too much, but run, nigga, run.
Right? To your point, that was a big one for me.
Another one. niggas for lease. Maybe I'm saying too much.
That's the NFL. Hands down. And guess what? Them leasing terms is like 18 months. So then they evict your ass. Right? Then they send you right back to where you came from. If you don't make it out as a gladiator, if you don't make it out in the Mandingo fights, they send you right back out to the cotton fields. Let's talk about it. But here's the crazy part. Here's the crazy part. We victimize ourselves over that. Okay? Because they've embedded it into us over and over again that we were slaves and we did it. No more. No more. Because now they don't have the fences around. They don't got the guards up there with guns and shit like that. But they're saying, oh, you want to be free? Go be free. You going to have to play the game? Go be free.
Right.
You going to have to go get your own food? Go be free. You going to have to go get your own house? Go be free. You're going to have to do your own cotton picking for your own good and your own benefit. Go be free. You're going to have to go understand, right, sales and understand marketing. Go be free. You got to understand taxes. Go be free. You got to understand how to get to and from. Go be free. You got to understand how to get a house, how to raise a household. Go be free. And then you wonder why people are in the predicaments that they're in today. Right? They don't know how to use the resources. Some of them don't know where to go to get the resources. Well, what do they know how to do? Physical labor jobs. Because this is what they did. They don't even know what's in here. They don't even know what's in their essence. They don't even know that the same program that all of these other people are benefit off of, the 1%ers are benefit off of, was the same program that their ancestors made. You think democracy was created by the people who run democracy? Hell no.
But
right? Let's take it back. You think Julius Caesar and all the Greeks and them created a council of 50 and said democracy and had niggas vote and do? They didn't get that. They didn't create that. Right? You think capitalism was, they made No, they didn't make fucking capitalism. They manipulated it.
That's crazy.
They manipulated it. Right? So we don't give, as a people, we don't give ourselves enough credit.
At all.
At all. We don't give ourselves any credit at all. So with that type of mindset, now you see why a lot of us are the way that we are. And I speak for our people. Okay? Like, this is why a lot of us, we're waking up, I guess what you can call getting more enlightened, and we're seeing what's happening in front of us. But now you see how a lot of this is just a facade. Right? If we knew that we're the ones that made everything, that created everything,
it'd be different.
It'd be completely different.
Like the way
it would be completely different.
Can't even imagine. It'd be different.
Completely different. Oh my gosh, the world would shut down. The world would completely shut down.
Yeah, because everybody, then you know.
Right? Like, even to this point, as slaves, okay, we were slaves, apparently. I'm going to just give a little context to this, because this is a whole nother topic. They went over on boat and got people from Africa, brought them across this big ass land, or this big ass massive ocean, the Atlantic Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, the Egyptians were met by the Europeans asking for help about how to cure their plague that was going on.
Thank you.
And they needed medicine. We had medicine but didn't have boats. We had medicine, but yet we were still tribal. We had medicine, but yet we were still savages.
We were gods.
It doesn't add up.
Don't. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. How do you come and get us, okay, from a continent and take us across the sea on boat when we could have done it ourselves? We did it ourselves. Like we didn't know how to use a boat.
Thank you.
Like we didn't know wood floated. Come on now. That's the first thing that they told us to make us feel stupid. We knew how to do it already. We knew what civilization was already. Right. We knew what government was already. We knew what healed, and we knew what was going to, be diseases already. We already knew. We knew what a gun was. Where do you think they got the technology from? Right? Like we knew what cities were. We knew how to run cities. We knew how to exchange. We knew how to trade. Hell, as so much, we knew what marketing was and propaganda. We already knew. But the first thing that they told us was that they got us from a boat when we were barely clothed and brought us over to be slaves because we were inferior to them knowledgeably. Or intellectually, I should say. I don't even know if knowledge is a word. Intellectually, we were inferior to them. They got all the information from us.
Yeah.
So I'm confused. And then, again, we're going to circle this back and then we're going to close this episode out. And then they created time.
Not a full circle. You hit them like that. Not a.
And then there was time. And then all of a sudden, we don't have a clue.
We don't have a clue. We don't know nothing.
If this ain't hypnosis with some pixie dust, I don't know what is, bro.
I don't know.
We had the pyramids. We was already looking up into space and could tell time in our own different way, in our own different measure. But yet they wanted to come around. It was like, oh, yeah, the world is 24,000 miles in circumference or diameter, whatever the fuck it is. The pyramids told us that 10,000 years ago. But we're the dumbasses? Come on, man. We're the dumbasses.
It's mind-blowing, but it's
mind-blowing.
That's crazy.
Mind-blowing. They so much that they created a whole nother calendar. Again, it would be my name, right? Called the Julian calendar. Right? Like you created a whole nother. We already had this shit figured out. And they literally manipulated our time to say something different.
No, just to say they did it or have ownership of it.
Well, they put us to sleep. It was a hypnosis tactic. Think about it. If you get put in a coma, your recollection of time is fucked.
You're done for.
You'll wake, think about you waking up 2 years later. What that would do to you.
You don't know nothing.
Whoa, hold on. 2 years. 2 years? But that would mess with you. Okay, go 10 years.
Oh.
Go 50 years.
I ain't even 50 years old.
Go 100.
That's more than half of your life.
And then not know it was 100. And then you wake up and all of a sudden they're calling it AD instead of BCE. Like, when the fuck did we decide to call time something different? Like, time ain't time.
Crazy.
Right? And they'll tell us that straight in the history books. Does it not go BCE and then AD?
AD, yeah.
Right? Well, who started an era? What? Who dictated that? Who said that's how we about to tell time now? I'm trying to tell you, bro, they put us to sleep, came back, rewrote everything, and went, and we was like, oh, I mean, it kind of looks the same. I mean, that's what, hold on, what is that over there? You feel me? All this different ass architecture up. Like, did they try to make another temple like the one that we had? I mean, I guess it's all right. Sure, we'll go with it. You know, it's like watching preschoolers build Legos.
Yeah.
They can try, but it's not gonna be this piece of quality over here. And it's been that way ever since. I promise you, it's been that way ever since. Even technology. Like, technology still baffles me. We think we're so technologically advanced and this, that, and the third. Bro, they built a pyramid that was an oscillator that measured the circumference of the earth.
Right. All right.
Being maybe as big as what? A town? A city block? Couple city blocks? It's not bigger than Cairo because it's in Cairo. Something like, think of, I know it's huge, but something that small in comparison to how big the earth is, measured the earth. But Newton sat underneath a fucking tree and got hit with an apple, and all of a sudden this nigga is part God. Like, all of a sudden he know natural law. like
what?
We got discounted. That's exactly what happened. We just got discounted. We already figured the shit out. We already did. We still do. We still know. We just got to remember.
Yeah, that's all it is.
We just got to remember. There's nothing new under the sun. So whatever discoveries they're making, let them keep making them. There's nothing new under the sun.
That's for them to do. Like,
we already know it all.
Yeah, it's already
right. And what I mean by that, I'm not saying, because when you know, okay, you know that you don't know.
Yeah, facts.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that as a collective conscious, as a collective people, okay, we know. We know what's in our essence. We know what we're capable of. We know the type of knowledge that we can receive. We know. We just didn't remember. Amnesia. Again, be careful about what you really hear, because sleep is the closest thing to death, but death don't exist.
Yeah.
We're going to drop the mic and end on that one. This has been the first episode with my boy King Quez. We're going to come back at y'all real soon. Y'all have a good night. Take care.
Take care.